Good morning, everyone. Rose here. So today I'm doing a special standalone video about Foodie Beauty and her relationship with her own VIBs, the people that fill up her chat, that give her the $5 membership, and people that are longtime viewers of Foodie Beauty. I am aware that by making this video, some VIBs may be coming over here to watch this video, and before the video even gets started, they may have some ideas about what I'm going to say. All that I ask for anyone watching this video is to watch the entire video and make up your own minds about how you feel about Foodie Beauty and how you want to proceed from here. I'm someone that I was once involved in more than a few abusive relationships, and I'm going to draw from those experiences to talk about Foodie Beauty, her behavior, and her behavior about the VIBs. So again, all that I ask is that you watch the entire video, and then after you're done watching, make up your own minds about how you feel about Foodie and how you want to proceed from here. So as someone that I'm a reactor to Foodie Beauty, and I reacted for quite a while, I've watched her. I've watched her behavior, the things that she's said, things that she's done to herself and other people. And I can confidently say to all of you that Foodie Beauty is an abusive person. When it comes to abuse, there are all kinds of ways you can be abusive. You can be physically abusive, where you are physically striking out at another person. You can be mentally abusive. You can be emotionally abusive. And you can also be verbally abusive. In the case of Foodie Beauty, because the VIBs are not directly in front of her, there's no way that she can be physically abusive. But certainly through her live streams, she can be verbally abusive. She herself, she's admitted that she's an abusive person. And considering the things that she said on her live streams, I think we can all agree that at the very least, she's verbally abusive. And verbal abuse can lead to someone who's being verbally abused to feel bad about themselves. Verbal abuse could also mean being manipulated and feeling emotionally down about themselves, maybe being humiliated and embarrassed. Foodie Beauty has done all of this in her live streams to her own VIBs. And it doesn't matter if you're in her chat as a troll, or someone that you have the feeder fetish, or just a longtime viewer. She dishes out the verbal abuse time and time again. And when it comes to abusers, if they have abusive natures or abusive behavior, if they don't take steps to go into therapy or seek counseling to correct those behaviors, then those behaviors will continue. And the hurt that they give people will also continue. So I've been looking all over the internet, and I found different clips to show examples of Foodie Beauty being abusive to her VIBs and to anyone who watches her, anyone who wanders into her chat. And I would like to play those clips and show you what I'm talking about as far as her being abusive and her being involved in an abusive relationship with her own VIBs. And because of the fact that she's so far away from everyone, perhaps those in Foodie's chat, perhaps they haven't looked deeper into the fact that they are indeed involved in an abusive relationship with Foodie Beauty. And as long as she continues to be the way that she is, the abuse will continue, and she will continue to abuse them and hurt them and manipulate them over and over again. So let me just go ahead and share the screen so you guys can see what I can see. Let's start with the Cuba Rage. That Cuba Rage, it was equal parts raging at Natter over and over again, but also going after her own VIPs, people that are channel members, people that are longtime viewers, going after different people if they pointed something out that she did not want to hear, and letting her know that this whole crazy 8 cycle of her going back and forth with Natter is just absolutely ridiculous. People giving their public opinion, which they're free to do because YouTube is a public platform. And if you put something on a public platform, then by doing so, you are welcoming the public to give their public opinion. If you have something private, then it's best to keep it private because then people are not free to talk about it. But let's listen into Foodie Beauty going off on her VIPs.
You're fucking stupid. It has nothing to do with people with disabilities. Actually, people with disabilities are not insulted by the word retard. Okay, retard means you're fucking stupid. Don't even associate with people with disabilities. People with disabilities don't even fucking go there. People with disabilities don't even associate with them with that fucking word. Okay, thank you. If you are the R word, it's because you're a piece of shit. It's not because you're disabled. Thank you. Come again. Oh, I'm tired of people who are so fucking fragile. I hate fragile people. If you're offended, report me. Report me to fucking YouTube. I don't give a shit. 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 I'm going to say whatever I want. If you're offended, leave. I don't get people who are offended by what I say and stick around and complain about it. If you stick around after what I say and you have a moral opposition to me, goodbye. If you stick around, that's your problem.
So, drawing on my experiences, my past experiences with abusive relationships, speaking from my experience, when you deal with people who are abusive, the abuse they give you, whatever form it may take, it's because they want to control you. They're looking to control you. And they're looking to control you by means of hurting you. If they hurt you, then they weaken you. They weaken your emotions. They weaken your mind. And by doing that, they can control you. Abusive people like Foodie Beauty, with her being verbally abusive to people on her own channel, she's using it as a means to control those in her audience. She uses hurt as a form of control. Because when you're feeling hurt, you are feeling confused, you're feeling sad, you're feeling upset, you're not able to think clearly. She will dish out the abuse verbally and demean and degrade and humiliate people in her own audience as a means to control them. The main motivator behind her control is to feel more in control, to feel more powerful. But also, her motivator is money. By controlling people in her audience, by keeping them weak, she's making them feel like they're worth nothing. And so they won't think clearly about going elsewhere and spending their money. There's been so many live streams of Foodie being abusive to her own members, to her own channel viewers, calling people names, putting them down for having an opinion. Even if that person states their opinion in the most polite of ways, if it's something that opposes Foodie Beauty's opinion, then there's a chance that she's going to get angry and rage at you. And by raging at you on this public platform, because it is a public platform, because there's an audience of people watching and listening, that's going to be quite demeaning and humiliating. It's not as if she's, say, on the phone talking to you privately. She's doing it in front of an audience of lots of other people, which could add to the humiliation, degradation factor of making you feel even worse, that other people can listen and hear her getting angry and raging at you. So she's a person that she will put down and insult other people's looks, age, weight, lifestyle. You know, she goes for the throat. She's angry at you. She's going to make you feel awful. What's interesting about Foodie Beauty's ongoing abusive behavior is that people come into her chat and they're paying her to be abused over and over again. I would also like to point out that when you are involved in an abusive relationship, an ongoing one, that the person who's abusive, it will often follow a cycle of being abusive and hurting you, and then coming back around and apologizing. And by doing so, they're luring you into a sense of calm, that abuse that happened will be the last time. In Foodie's case, she comes on camera, she rages at people, she goes off on people, followed by a very short period of calm where she'll make empty promises. She'll promise that she'll be better. She'll make promises of doing better content, more positive content. Those in her audience get lured into a sense of calm, and they forgive her, thinking that that will be the last time. And then another rage will follow where she goes off on everyone in her audience, or maybe a few select members. So there is a cycle here of her being nice to people, followed by the rage and the abuse, followed by a period of calm, followed by another rage, and it just keeps going. Because Foodie is not in therapy, nor does she have any inclination to go to therapy. She's not looking to be a better person in any way, emotionally, mentally, psychologically. She is an abusive, manipulative person. And she uses abuse to manipulate people and to also push people. Because manipulative people, they will often test the boundaries of whatever person or people they are in front of to see how far they can push them. They will throw more and more abuse at that person or people to see what they can get away with. And certainly the people in Foodie's audience have let her get away with a lot, because she's done everything in the world to be offensive and abusive, and yet they keep coming back. And by coming back, every time they come back, every time they forgive her, she feels free to go even further. She feels empowered. She's under the thought of, I can do anything to anyone in my own audience, and they'll put up with it because they're so addicted to me, they keep coming back. Speaking from my own personal experience, as someone that I've been in abusive relationships, I can tell you with all certainty that when it comes to any abusive relationship, whether it's psychological or mental or emotional or verbal, the only true way to break the cycle of abuse, to stop the person who's hurting you from hurting you again, is to break all contact or minimize the contact as much as possible. The more contact you give an abusive person, the more freedom they have to hurt you, the more they will hurt you. And even if you're thousands of miles away from a manipulative, hurtful, abusive person, as long as you allow that contact, they can and will hurt you over and over again.
Dandy, tell it. Dandy, why are you anti-trans? Why are you a fucking asshole? I like you. You're funny, but you're a fucking anti-trans asshole. Why? Why? Why?
Also, I'm sure everybody's already heard about this, but in this same rant that Foodie did, she did make a very true statement that applies to this video, so I'm going to bring it up. She said, and I quote, "I'm going to manipulate the F out of you and then be sweet as pie, and you're going to eat it up." She made that statement. So she admitted with that statement that she is a verbally abusive, manipulative person, and she's counting on the fact that people in her audience will forgive her, will keep watching her, as long as she comes on the next day and she's nice to everyone. She's admitted that she's an awful person, that she's abusive, and she takes advantage of her own audience with that abuse. That no matter what, they'll keep watching her. An abuser who feels so empowered by the abuse, so empowered by the fact that there are people in her audience that care about her, that she feels free to verbally abuse them and manipulate them repeatedly.
Why? Why? Can you explain that? I would like to know. Why are you an anti-trans asshole? Charlie Gold, she's fucking got a 5 head. She's a piece of shit hypocrite who sits there like, this woman eats pussy. Really, bitch? Get on the fucking scale. You.
So that's it for that one. That was the Cuba stream, and I would like to give a special thanks to Malarkey Meter, archiving the antics. I'll leave a link for the entire video in the description for those who want to watch it, and you can see other examples of Foodie being verbally abusive to her members. So thank you for the video, Malarkey Meter. I don't have anything saved on my computer, that's why I'm not using my individual clips, but I will credit every single person's clips that I use here, because that's the right thing to do. Here's another one, courtesy of Mary Redacted. She's a very small channel. I'm going to put a link for this video also in the description. Here's another example of Foodie being out of pocket with her statements.
Stupid. I'm stupid, but I never said I love myself. Go big or go home. Who's been blocked? So many people are getting blocked. I'm not unblocking people this time, no matter how much you cry about it. I don't care. Don't email me and don't message me to be unblocked. It's not happening.
And that's another thing that Foodie uses to control people. The threat of blocking. There's been many streams where she'll be on stream and she'll just want to go off and saying, who wants to be blocked? So not only is she verbally abusive, not only is she manipulating, but she uses intimidation to frighten her members. Intimidation is another tool in her toolbox. Who wants to get blocked? I'm going to start blocking people, and I don't care if I block you. Intimidation. Threatening people who care about her, because obviously they must care about her, to be on her channel and watch her and deal with all of her antics and put up with it. There must be an element of care somewhere. She uses that care against them by threatening to block them. So in her own way, she's being a bully. manipulating people by using intimidation, saying, I'm going to block you. Who wants to get blocked? That is also part of the abusive relationship, intimidation. Those who are abusers, they use intimidation to control whoever it is they're abusing. And that intimidation can come in many forms. It can come in the form of the threat of physical harm. In Foodie's case, she uses intimidation to control people, making them afraid of losing their memberships, being blocked off of her channel. She controls people by threatening them. If you say something that I don't like, or you make me angry, I am going to cut off all access to me to where you can't come back. Speaking of the memberships, she also likes to demean people and put out the message that anybody in her audience, you don't have any meaning to Foodie. You're worth nothing to her. She's made the statement many times over. I don't care if I block you because I can replace you. You are very replaceable. I'll get more VIBs if I get rid of you. You mean nothing. And that is also something that an abusive person does, demeaning whoever it is they abuse, making them feel like nothing, that they're worth nothing, cutting them down, insulting them. Abusive, manipulative, controlling tactics. Those are things you often find in different abusive relationships. So here she is threatening people with blocking them. She can't threaten physical harm, obviously, because the people are not directly in front of her. But here she is on a public platform with a smile on her face, using the intimidation, the bullying to manipulate and control people, and doing it with a smile.
What are we going to talk about? I know I have to go soon, guys. It's freaking raining. I'm cold. I'm pissed, and I want to go home. I want to smoke. Why was there even like I need to go? All my stuff is out.
Something else I'd like to add in here. People who are abusive in some way, they are often out of control with their own lives. And so to make up for it, they try to exert control somewhere else over other people. That makes them feel powerful, makes them feel like they have some sort of worth. Foodie's life, I think we can all agree, she's out of control with her life. There's not a single area of her life where she's in control. Everything is in wreck and ruin. So to feel powerful, to feel like the alpha, to feel like she has some kind of strength, she draws on her own VIBs, on her own channel members to feel powerful. Basically the thinking is, I can't control myself. I have no control over myself. So to feel powerful, I'm going to control other people. I'm going to intimidate and abuse and lie to and manipulate other people. And that makes me feel like I'm a big deal. Foodie is an abusive person. She's verbally abusive to everybody around her, not just to VIBs, not just to channel members. She's been verbally abusive to a lot of people in her personal life. She has demeaned and degraded just about everybody around her personally, hence why there's no one around her personally, no one that doesn't have to be there. I think she knows that about herself, and that's why she creates a system of codependency when it comes to people in her life, like, say, Pete. Pete is around Foodie Beauty because he has to be there. He's financially codependent on her. Notice she doesn't want anyone around her that's independent, that has their own means, that has their own car, that has their own job, that has their own money. Because if that person is independent, that means if she acts up or she acts badly, they have the option to walk away. She's always seeking out people that she can try to control by means of her money. She wants to put them in a position to where she has the control, and they have to be around her, and they have to interact with her. Her money is the only thing of value that she has that she can tempt somebody with to spend time around her.
Cash Shelton.
Sorry about that. So she uses her money to control people, to tempt people to be around her. That's why she's always seeking out men who don't have financial means, men who don't have a car, men who don't have a job, or if they do have a job, she tries to tempt them away from their job by saying, you don't have to work. I can support you. I'll support you. Just come on YouTube and do things with me. There's nothing truly generous about this woman. It's all about manipulation and control. Finding someone she likes, tempting them with the idea of not having to work again. And if they take her up on her offer, then she's got them. She's got them. She put Pete in that position. She put Natter in that position. And then once she knows she has full control, that's when all hell breaks loose. So let's move on to the next clip of her being verbally abusive.
Humiliated on camera. Like a loving person would never. You guys are so right about that. A loving person. You know what? That motorcycle guy was so loving. But no, I need to love myself. This is an act of self-love. I don't need love from Motorcycle Man. I don't need love from fake people. I don't need love from this guy. I don't need love from anybody but my fucking self. You bring up essay and all these people relate their experiences to you, and then you turn around and validate everything that happens. You suck. Well, Misha, you suck too. You're a fucking bitch who doesn't. You cannot speak on the situation. You have no idea, okay? So fuck you. I don't owe anything to any SA victims. They like this is my personal situation. So go fuck yourself, Misha. I'm actually tired of your two-faced bullshit anyway. You're a fucking two-faced piece of shit liar. So go fuck yourself. Thank you. Nicole Ann, number for 5 months. I owe something to SA victims? Like this is my fucking personal journey. Fuck you. You suck. You're a bully piece of shit and you suck. Yeah, you do, Misha. You're fucking.
So there she is being verbally abusive to her members. Another thing that I'd like to bring to the table, another way that she manipulates people on her channel. She purposely brings up toxic topics, triggering topics, in an effort to be relatable to people. But she's doing it in the wrong way. She's bringing it up traumatic things that trigger people, such as DV and SA. It's my personal opinion. She's not been through DV and SA at all. She just used those topics as content for her channel to make money, and she's made a lot of money. And for those who are wondering why I'm saying she's not been through DV and SA, may I offer up some things that I find unusual about Foodie and her DV and SA as reasons why I think she's not been through those things. I remember different live streams where Foodie would come on showing off her bruises on her chest. A lot of people who've been through DV, they don't show off their bruises. They usually hide them. Also, coming on camera and talking about the abuse openly with strangers. If you've been through DV&SA for real, you can't do that. It's hard enough just talking about it with one person, because as you're talking about it, you're remembering things that happened to you, and it's hard. You will get visibly upset. You might be shaking. You might be crying. You might be shaken up just thinking about it again, because it was a horrible experience. And Foodie Beauty has come online, and she talked about those things that happened to her for hours, for weeks on end, just milking those topics for all that she could get out of it. And she got a lot of financial compensation for talking about it with her audience and triggering her audience. A lot of people who've been through those things, they felt sympathetic, perhaps because they've been through it themselves, and she made a lot of money triggering people and tugging on the heartstrings of people. And I feel that's the reason why she keeps bringing those things up, because they make her a lot of money when she does bring them up. So there's another manipulation tactic for you. Bringing up whatever painful or traumatic topics she can think of to trigger her audience, to make them feel more sympathetic for her, and to paint herself more the victim, when in fact Foodie is not a victim. She's not someone that she lived with her alleged abuser. She wasn't trapped in a relationship. She literally chose to go see him, to be around him, to pay his bills and so forth. But just this ongoing drama of, I'm the victim, I'm helpless, and I can't do anything about it. It might strike a chord with people in her audience that perhaps at one time they were a victim. Maybe they felt helpless. Maybe they felt like they were stuck in a situation, and they remember being in that situation, and they sympathize with that way of thinking. Foodie is no victim. The situations that she puts herself in, she puts herself in time and time again. But as long as she paints this picture of being the victim, when you're the victim, then whatever the situation is not your fault. And that's the picture that she wants to paint for everyone, that whatever's going on is not her fault. When in fact, just the opposite is true. It's entirely her choice, therefore it's entirely her fault. She's the architect of her life, and everything that's happening is of her own making, completely of her own making, because she can go another way, she can go another direction, and things would not be as they are. But in the meantime, while she's going through this drama, she's not seeking therapy. She's not seeking counseling. She's not seeking help. She's going in a crazy 8 of one thing back to the next thing, back to the next thing. And as long as she's in this crazy 8, as long as she's stuck, and she stuck herself there, nobody stuck her, she stuck herself there. As long as she has this narcissistic, egotistical, hurtful, abusive attitude and mindset, as long as she's a hurtful person, she will continue to hurt other people, whether it's someone in her personal life or someone on YouTube. Those of you in her audience, she's going to continue to lash out at you. She's going to continue to insult you. She will employ that system of abusing you. And then when she thinks that she's pushed you too far, she'll come back and feed you scraps of hope, saying things are going to change, I'm going to change, I'm going to take care of my health, I'm going to behave better. And then when she knows she's got you to a point where you believe her and everything's calmed down, she'll start up the verbal abuse again. And like I said, This whole system will continue as long as you're around her, because abusers don't stop unless you make them stop. And the only way to make them stop is to get completely away from them. As long as they have access to you in some way, they will continue to hurt you.
Piece of shit. You're a fake, two-faced piece of shit. I don't owe SA victims anything. So just because someone was SA'd, I have to automatically be a fucking spokesperson for everybody and not go through my own experience? Fuck you. Your flip-flopping is the reason a lot don't come forward. See, like, that's what I don't like. You blaming me for all other SA victims' fucking experiences. You go fuck yourself too. You fucking shaming piece of shit. This is what I don't like. Okay? Blaming me for not knowing how to...
That's another intimidation tactic. Somebody voicing their opinion and Foodie using that certain language of everything you tell her. She says you're shaming her. You're bullying her. By doing that, she's turning it around on you and saying that you're in the wrong for feeling the way that you do. Everything for Foodie is shaming and bullying. Although I have to say, I've been all over YouTube and I've never met a bigger bully than Foodie Beauty. She wants people around her, and yet the people that she does gather around her, she shames and she bullies. She bullies people with intimidation, with degradation, with humiliation, with threats of being blocked, with her rage to control them. The VIBs are her gang, and she maintains control over her gang by bullying them, by shaming them, by threats of shaming, by threats of doxing, talking about the way they look in their photos, what they look like as far as their weight, their age, where they live. She is a bully who has her own personal gang in the VIBs, and she uses the intimidation and the bullying, the manipulating to keep that gang around her. When somebody is verbally abusive, they will throw out the insults. They will degrade you as a means of control by making you feel like you're not worth anything. So you're not worthy. You're not worthy of anything else. Certainly Foodie has done that, and she continues to do that, and she will continue to do that as long as people let her get away with it.
To act in a situation, a traumatic situation, you're invalidating my fucking abuse story, but validating by everyone else's, comparing it to everyone else's. Fuck you.
See, any other normal, decent person, if they dealt with somebody like this, you're in a chat room, you're a paying member, and the person that you're giving the membership to, they're going off on you, swearing at you. Any normal, decent person would not put up with this, because this is completely unacceptable. Not just online, but in any situation. Foodie feels empowered to be as ugly as she wants to be to everybody, to her VIBs, to her family, to anybody that gets within 5 feet of her, because she's under the impression that she can be this ugly, meaning her personality, meaning her mannerisms, because she honestly thinks that she's so great that she can just be this way and people will put up with it. And her thinking is backed up by the fact that she has abused people in her chat verbally, and they keep coming back and they keep paying for the abuse. Think about that for a minute. Any VIBs that come over here watching this, just think about that. They are going into a chat room that is not positive at all. You're going in there day after day, being subjected to Foodie's negativity over and over and over again. She'll go through brief periods where she's not yelling and screaming at you. But then those periods, because like I said, they're very brief, then she'll rage at you She will intimidate you by calling you names, threatening to block you, or she does block you. And another manipulation tactic, let me block this person for a minute and then unblock them, let them come back. But she blocks that person or those people just long enough to get her point across of, I'm in control. I have the power to block you. I could unblock you, but I got the power to block you for the moment. And what are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do. You can't stop me from blocking you. In Foodie's world, nobody is allowed to have an opposing opinion. No matter how politely you tell Foodie that opposing opinion, she doesn't want to hear it. By only putting her opinion out there in the way that she does, she maintains control of the narrative. Controlling her narrative and also the narrative that other people put out there in their own chat. So those of you that are VIPs, you are involved in an abusive relationship with Foodie Beauty, and you're paying for it. You pay for it every single month that you are a VIP. She's manipulating, and she's admitted that. She's a liar, and she's admitted that also. She made the comment in Cuba, I will manipulate the fuck out of you, and then I'll come on sweet as pie, and you'll eat it up. Imagine a manipulator and a liar and an abuser feeling so bold with their lies, with their manipulation, with their control, with the abuse, that they feel free to come out and say to those that they abuse, yes, I do this. And I do this because you'll take it. And you do take it, and you'll keep coming back for it. I know that you're addicted to me. I know that you're part of my channel, and you'll come back to me. And because you will come back, I feel free to say out loud that I'm an abuser, I am a manipulator, I'm a liar, but you'll put up with it, and you'll pay for it. So ha-ha on you. That's basically her attitude. She has no interest in being a better person. She has no interest in bettering herself or her life in any way. All she cares about is controlling and manipulating and lying and getting paid to do those things. And as long as you VIPs put up with it, as long as you viewers put up with it, she's going to continue. Because you being a part of her audience, you being there and putting up with it over and over again, that empowers her more to go further and be more abusive and push the line back even further of what you'll tolerate and what you'll put up with. As I said, abusers, the only way to stop the abuse is to get completely away from them. As long as they got a sliver of control, even from far away, they're going to use it. And they're going to dish out even more hurt.
Fuck you, Donna Ray. I'm about to block your fucking ass, you piece of shit. Go to hell. Go to hell. Thank you very much. I'm not taking shit from none of you either anymore. Fuck you. I'm an SA victim and you owe me nothing. This is your journey, queen. Fuck you. Exactly, Blackzillion. Thank you. Fuck you. Thank you. Go to hell. Misha, you know nothing about my situation. Nothing. Nothing. Chantal does not need to be forced into telling her story. Exactly, and that's what it is. That's what it was on the panel. Are you lying or are you not? So are you lying or are you not? Are you lying or are you not? You think it's easy to come on here and say that your fucking boyfriend ass raped you? No, it's not. So go fuck yourself.
Again, talking about SA on YouTube, and she's told us so many things that have allegedly happened between her and Natter, but she's bringing the SA and DV to YouTube to make money and to trigger her on audience to give her money. She's told us so many things about what happened. And then when other people say, listen, this doesn't sound right and you shouldn't be talking about this, she gets angry. Because she wants to control her audience and because she wants to control the narrative.
Misha, I know you're trying so hard to be fucking relevant. As a hater, but you're shitty at it. Nobody even fucking likes you. People make fun of you on the forums. You're a piece of shit. Goodbye. She is not telling the truth. The truth about what? The truth about what?
So
Shell, you're a piece.
I would like to thank Just Saying for that clip. Thank you, Just Saying. I will be linking that video also in the description. What else we got here? Oh, this is a short. These are clips. Let's play that.
You have to be here if you don't care? I don't get it. Like, what's your problem? How is it that you people are fucking annoyed coming to my channel, listening to what I'm talking about my life? This affected me for a whole fucking year, and it's going to affect me for a long time. And I'm going to talk about it however long I want. And if you don't want to listen to me, don't. There's 2,000 people here listening to me. One is not going to make a difference. Do yourself a favor, go watch Sunset fucking Boulevard or whatever you're watching reality TV, and leave my show alone. Okay? Thank you. You have to be here if you don't care?
So that was a clip from Beezer Clips, and thank you, Beezer Clips. I would put your link in the description if it wasn't a short, because I don't know where the link is, but I'll look for it. I will. Don't know how to link a short though, but so that was the clip from Beezer Clips. So again, she's not saying in that clip that she's going to get any better. She's going to keep talking about this Natter thing forever. She's not going into counseling, nothing. She's not doing anything for herself to be better mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically. She desperately needs therapy. She desperately needs help of all kinds. But she's not going out to go get it. So what we have here, folks, is someone who has a history of being a manipulator and a liar for years before she got on YouTube. And on YouTube, she just found a platform to make her lies and manipulative ways profitable by involving an audience of people who would pay her money. And since the lies and manipulation make her money, and because she has an audience that, if they aren't trolls, they aren't feeders, they are people that they are maybe hoping for a happy ending to this story because they've invested a lot of time in it. A lot of people have been watching Foodie for years. They've invested a lot of time in watching her and keeping up with her content. There might be some people in her audience that are hoping for a happy ending, and they want to stick around to see if there is one, or if there isn't, what is the ending to the Foodie Beauty story? And maybe they're holding on to some kind of hope that there is some kind of magical happy ending. That one day she'll wake up and be a different person and not be abusive, not be manipulative, not be a liar. Again, drawing from my personal experience with abusive relationships, being that I've been with abusive people, I had that point of view once upon a time. And that's why one of the relationships that I had lasted for 5 years. Because I was involved with an abusive person. And I had that hope that the person who was abusing me, that one day they would realize how wrong the abuse was and how they were treating me, and they would straighten their act up and they would be a different person. I had to learn the hard way that that day never comes. That person who's being abusive, they will continue to be abusive, and the abuse will only get worse the longer you stay around them. That if there's any hope of them changing into somebody different, you have to get away from them first. Because then they don't have the power to hurt you, and perhaps they might have a moment of self-reflection to say, my behavior is out of pocket and I need to change it. But in order for that to happen, the abuser has to be away from the person that they are abusing. In order to break the cycle, you have to break the circle. And unfortunately, Foodie has a circle on her channel between herself and her members. And as long as they're there, the circle cannot be broken. She feels empowered to act the way that she does, to say the things that she does, to come on camera, be nice 1 minute, be abusive the next, and get away with it. She feels empowered because she gets away with it. And whenever she gets away with it, it empowers her to go further and further and further. And honestly, those of you on Chantal's channel, you need to stop and think about that. The fact that you're there makes her feel empowered to get away with her behavior. Not just in her personal life, but with the way she treats you. And are you okay with that? Ask yourself the question, am I really okay with putting up with an abusive person? That every time that I tune into YouTube, this is what they do. This is what they say. I'm part of somebody's chat that I can't speak freely. I can't give my opinion. I have to only stick to a certain narrative. I have to be a yes man. Where I can't even say something of opposing opinion in a polite way, because if the creator is in a bad mood, she's going to rage at me. She might intimidate me. She might humiliate me. And she might also block me. This is what those of you on Foodie's channel, this is what you have to deal with every day. So as someone that I've been through an abusive relationship, I ask you, why? Why are you allowing this? Is it because you never thought of yourself in an abusive relationship with Foodie before? You never looked at it from the point of view? You are. Trust me, you are. Just because physically she's not able to reach out and do physical harm to you doesn't mean she's not abusing you. This woman is verbally abusive to you frequently. And she keeps being verbally abusive. When she goes into a rage, she may be raging about Natter, but often when she's mad at Natter, she won't take it out on him. She takes it out on all of you because you're the closest target. And because those of you in her chat room, you're not actual people to her with feelings and emotions and lives. You're just names on a screen. So she's free to go off on you time and time again. And she absolutely will not stop until you make her stop. So that's all I want to say in this video. Just want to make everybody aware. The Foodie Beauty and her VIBs and her viewers on her channel are involved in an abusive, verbally abusive relationship that is ongoing and has been ongoing for years. And because she's spiraling, it's only going to get worse. So anybody who watches Foodie, if you watch her content and you watch her, and you come away from watching her content feeling drained or stressed out, feeling bad about yourself, that's why. It's not just the negativity of the content that may be affecting you, it's her behavior towards you. And you don't have to put up with it. You don't have to put up with somebody abusing you and hurting you. You just don't have to. You have a choice to walk away from it if you want to. But as long as you're around an abusive person, they will continue to give out the abuse. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you guys for watching. And please have a good day. Take care.